So once I get down my mushroom coffee, we'll roll over to some beer chachos.
No, like the Avengers.
Whoa.
Like the Canadian Avengers is called Alpha Flight.
Really, Canada?
You need to be having a Twitter because there's too much gold that we find on there that needs to be shared with you. Specifically, this fucking video that we watched yesterday. Good fucking morning, Vietnam. Know what I'm saying?
Good morning, Vietnam.
Yeah. Welcome. Salt of the Streets.
Do it. You gotta commit, baby.
Welcome, Salt of the Streets fucking live stream. We're out here. What is this today? Episode 53?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. I am Donovan.
I'm Colin.
And before we go any further, I just want to hit on all these social medias. Thank you for joining us on Facebook today. You can find these videos later on our YouTube at Salt of the Streets. We have our Instagram at Salt of the Streets. We have our own personal social medias. I am at alpaca_Donovan on Instagram and Salt of the Street on Twitter. He is at Big Bird Offie on both of those things. You can find all of this on saltofthestreets.com. Let us know what you think. Leave us a rating and review. It helps us out. It helps people find the podcast. It's a great deal. So we are happy to have everybody here today. I have all of these fucking paper notes that we're going to talk about.
You're rolling naked today, man. You got old school handwritten notes.
Yes.
No computer.
Yeah, I forgot my computer, which I don't think I had any articles on there, so it's not a huge deal anyway. However, I did forget all 4 of my pens, which is going to throw me off, but I had one pen in my car, so we're going to be okay. But like
I don't know, man. I'm nervous.
Yeah,
I'm nervous about the lack of pens.
We'll be all right. So I have some stuff here. But before we go any further, we got to talk because it's early today. It's early.
Wicked.
We have a baby shower today for my son because my family doesn't do baby showers before the baby is born. So we had one before, and we're going to do one afterwards. And this one is way more of like a chill party. He's going to be there. I'm going to be there. We're going to be drinking beers.
I think Carolina's going to be able to make it.
We would really love that. We are going to have, or I bought a case of beer yesterday, some Hanalei Island IPA. And yeah, it's going to be delicious.
That's delicious stuff.
Yeah, we'll have some family. My grandma's going to be there. I love my grandma.
I don't think I've ever met your grandma.
Oh, my grandma's a fucking peach, dude.
Because I just know Jordan's grandnan.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's Grandma Nancy. My grandma's Grandma Beth. She's from Canada, from Manitoba. Uncle Alan's birthday today. Happy birthday, Uncle Alan. You probably are not seeing this, but my mom is. And we're going to tell my grandma about it later. Happy birthday, Uncle Alan.
Happy birthday.
Brigadier General in the Canadian Army. Bad motherfucker.
World hero.
Yes.
I want to say American hero, but he's a
Canadian hero.
He's a world hero.
Yes. Do you know what the Canadian superheroes are called? That is Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight.
That's equivalent to like our Spec Ops.
Like, no, like the Avengers.
Whoa.
Like the Canadian Avengers is called Alpha Flight.
Really, Canada?
I mean, it's made by Marvel.
I get it.
But that's what they're called. Alpha Flight's actually pretty sick. I've read some of those comics. I couldn't... Jake says he usually has a beer with a pre-show. Now it's coffee. I was like, I think I'm probably going to have a beer.
Here, buddy.
So I think I'm going to crack a beer here in a minute because it's, I don't know. And I
once
know
we
it's
get
early,
rolling
but
into the regular
it
show.
feels weird to not be drinking beer right now.
Right.
So
once I get down my mushroom coffee, we'll roll over to some beer chachos.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody for joining us. So like I said, before we go any further, I need you to tell the people what you ate today so that we can move on, so we can hit this pre-show.
You're going to be upset, but not much. I had 2 pieces of toast with 2 fried eggs on them because I haven't been feeling all that great.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You remember that talk we had a couple weeks ago about working yourself into the grave?
Yes.
Well, this through no fault of my own, I worked myself into a hole this week, and it hit me hard yesterday, and I was having fucking problems health-wise. Ended up coming back, and me and you were talking a little bit. We were texting back and forth, and I was sitting down on the couch feeling like total garbage, and I had all my show notes out, and I was doing some research. Literally fell asleep after about 15 minutes of me sitting on the couch.
Last night?
Yeah. Carolina comes and wakes me up at like 11 o'clock. Was like, hey, you need to go to bed.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
No, it's good for you. It's good for you.
But yeah, so like, even now, like I'm still kind of like, bleh. So I just ate a light breakfast today.
Jordan makes me go to bed during the week at like 10 o'clock because I'll stay up you know, with the baby doing whatever. But if I'm up to a certain point, she'll make me go to sleep.
Yeah, 10's about like, because you probably get up about the same time I do, right?
I get up about 4 o'clock.
Oh, you got a half hour on me, baby.
Yeah, so I get up at 4 o'clock and take a shower always. That's like the first thing I do, and then I start. You know, I like make breakfast, and I try, now that the baby and Sierra and stuff, I work out in the morning. And so I don't usually go to work until like 6 now, because I'm working out and I'm making breakfast and usually like smoking a little bowl or whatever, and then
gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and then moving on, and you know, watching some bullshit in the morning. Like I'll watch a movie over like 3 days, because I will like pause it every time I get up, and I'm not like sitting down for that long. And so,
man,
it's So
that's good. It's a good way to do it.
So I watched like a movie called Sandcastle last week.
Why do I feel like I know that?
It's
movie?
a Netflix movie that has.
Maybe I've just heard about it.
There's a movie that has about zombies, and they're turning back into humans. You know, and it's a young kid. It's
strange.
Like a love movie.
Ooh.
What's it called? He's another shit. He's also the Beast in X-Men First Class.
Oh,
Young
I
Beast,
love that guy.
this guy, right? So he's in this movie. He's a young guy who joined the army, or the Marines, 2 months before 9/11. And then 9/11 happens, and he's like, well, fuck, I didn't want to go to war. I wanted to go to school. You know,
Whoops.
He's like one of those guys. And, so that movie was really good. And then I also watched a movie called Triple Frontier, that is about former special forces guys that are
Nicholas Hoult.
Yes.
There we go.
Former special forces guys that are not making enough money having regular jobs, and so they go to South America and kill and rob a drug lord, and then it's like all the things that happens along the way.
Ooh.
It's a fantastic movie. Ben Affleck is in it. There's a whole bunch of famous people in it. There is the guy who played Jax in fucking Sons of Anarchy in it. Yeah, there's a bunch of people in it. It's great. It was a great movie. It was really long.
He did some King Arthur movie.
Warm Bodies. That's what the movie is called.
Warm
Thank
Bodies.
you, Jacob. That's what the movie is called.
He always comes in clutch with the movies.
I'm usually really, really good about stuff like that. I'm usually on it.
I used to be, man. I lost my edge.
Yeah.
I fell off the game.
I'm pretty,
I did watch John Wick, though, this week.
and I've never seen that movie. You said that it was good, but I haven't seen it. Jordan and I watched Wind River because I told you that I had watched that movie that has Jeremy Renner in it, and so we watched it together. It's fucking fantastic. You should watch that movie. There's a lot of Jeremy Renner is given fantastic lines in that movie, because he has a son who's half Native American and half Jeremy Renner, right? Oh. And so they're out and they're training a horse and they're doing whatever, and his son breaks a horse, and then they're down and they're loving the horse and stuff, and his kid is like, good horse. Yeah, and his kid is like, that's pretty cowboy, right, Dad? And he says, no, it's 100% Arapaho. And you're like, oh, goddamn. You're cultured, Jeremy Renner. You're cultured in a good way. And I like it.
I love Jeremy Renner,
man.
Oh,
it's great. It's a fucking fantastic movie. I would recommend everybody watch it.
He's the greatest and most underrated of the Avengers.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I heard this movie was shit.
Me too.
Yeah. Captain Marvel, I heard, was not good.
I can't wait. I want to just bring it up in the show during pop culture.
The blatant intersectionality, but yeah, we will get to that in the show. One thing I did want to hit on that I thought that you would really love, and I thought it was perfect with the pre-show, I was listening to Ben Shapiro this week.
That's too bad.
The production value in his show, I feel, has gone way up. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because he was talking about Elizabeth Warren this week, and in the background, they played Colors of the Wind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just let it be, but
no,
I couldn't help but genuinely laugh out loud. I was like, that's perfect. That's fucking beautiful. Yeah. Colors of the Wind in the background.
Yeah, he did that a couple of weeks ago. They came out with theme music for all the Democratic presidential hopefuls.
Yeah. For Beto, they play Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Beto, bro.
And I love when he announced that Beto was running for president. They played that, and he says, I even wrote down, he says, kick flip, bong rip, Beto's in. And I was like, oh, yes! That's hilarious!
Yeah.
That's fucking great. And I don't usually buy into Ben Shapiro doing shit like that because I don't think that it's that funny. But these last couple weeks, he's been good. I've been really appreciating.
He's got a lot of
comedy
singers.
in it. Yeah. I think it's fucking funny. kickflip, bong rip, Beto's in. I was like, that's gold. Like, that's fucking funny.
Yeah. He's just getting his legs again, and mind you, some of the content he puts out lately is just like, I've been skipping over a lot of his shows because it's just fucking own the libs type of shit.
Yeah.
It's I don't want that all the time. When we're talking about Elizabeth Warren, I mean, my wife now, we got our DNA test back. It's about 1,000, actually, shit, way more, probably like 10,000 times more Native American than Elizabeth Warren. And this was a weird one I didn't see coming. She's like 16% French. That was pretty cool.
Your wife?
Yeah.
From French settlers in South America or some such shit?
Yeah, I think so.
Theoretically.
Theoretically. French colonial interests.
That's pretty interesting.
Probably. Yeah, she's got a really cool one. Mine's pretty much just, the standard Aryan, Hitler wet dream type of thing.
Yeah.
I was highly unimpressed.
We know we have a baby in our family that's very much Aryan pride child, He's just as blonde as could be and the bluest eyes anyone's ever seen. And you're like, this pale skin. Look at this kid. Look at this kid. It's a perfect Aryan specimen. That's what he is. So we missed last week because we decided we didn't miss last week. We chose to take last week off to spend some time with our families. It was fantastic. I had a great time.
I needed what you call a mental health day.
Yes. And that is perfectly respectable. I love that shit. It was great. Me and Jordan had a good time. Finished up the electrical in the baby's room. Woo! So I'm going to go and I'm going to buy the lumber tomorrow and the rest of the drywall, and I'm going to get that shit done.
Who is the guy in your family that was talking to you? I think he was the one helping you out with your construction stuff in the baby's room. Red hair, kind of a taller, big guy.
That's John.
That's John. John looks identical to one of my old bosses in the Coast Guard.
Really?
Like, identical.
He was in the Navy for a very long time. So it is not improbable that you may have run across him at some point because he did a fuckload of traveling as well.
Yeah.
Like he spent a lot of time in Italy and shit like that. And, so it's certainly
seems like
possible.
A cool cat.
He is a cool guy. John is a great guy. We got married at his house actually.
Oh yeah.
So that's that same guy. Yeah. No, he's helped me. He did help me with all the electrical in there because I don't know anything about electricity.
Yeah. No. That's why I have an electrician as a brother.
Yeah. Yeah. So John helped me with that, which was really cool.
So it's getting close then, huh?
Yes, yeah. Because that's all that I was waiting for because I did most of the drywall. So now I'm going to finish up the last corner. It's like a wall and a quarter. And then I have to do a drywall panel for the fucking like an access panel for the AC unit thing.
Yeah.
The HVAC shit. And then I'm going to go and buy a piece of carpet and we'll be good to go.
Boom.
So.
Have you guys thought about paint yet? What color paint is Dax's room?
I don't know what color it's going to be. Jordan wants to paint one of the walls like an accent wall and then have the other ones like...
This feels like a Virginia Slim.
I'm not totally impressed. Like it tastes really good, but I'm not super happy with the half grammars. So
usually I get them, they're nice and fat, but they're just short and stubby.
Yeah. This one's like, long.
Yeah, like a fucking Virginia Slim, dude.
Like a Misty.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Misty is like this fucking long cigarette that is like the size of an ink refill for a Bic pen. Like they're so thin and fucking, you can buy them in varying lengths from regular cigarette to like 2 cigarette and a half.
Get that.
It's crazy.
101 Dalmatians Cruella de Vil size.
The next time that you go to a gas station, look behind the counter, and they're usually low, and they're like a 7-8 inch tall pack of cigarettes. I swear to God, they're
I hate to say it, man. This might be a Bremerton thing. I don't know if I've seen those at my.
It's not something a lot of people smoke, but it's like. I don't know. It's definitely an older person thing. Like an older woman would smoke a Misty, if anyone.
Okay.
So.
How dare you objectify older women like that?
I know. I'm a piece of shit.
You're such a part of the patriarch.
So a lot of things happened in the last 2 weeks. President Trump announced his new budget, and we're not going to talk about that much today because I tried to look into it last night, and so much of the reporting is about like, Trump's new budget is going to do this, and it focuses on one particular aspect of it. And I certainly wasn't going to read all 160 pages of the budget itself.
Yeah, no thanks.
I'm going to do some research, and we'll talk about that next week because I think that it's very interesting because what I heard of it did exactly what we had talked about just a few months ago, right? With the pattern of the Republican tax cut and then cutting everything else to try and just, we don't have enough. We don't have enough money now because we cut all these taxes, so we have to cut all these programs. So a lot of it coming from Medicare and Medicaid, and there's like the National Science Foundation and like a bunch of weird places that like a lot of this money is coming from.
That's weird because he just told NASA to get up off their ass and go to the moon again.
Yeah. Yep. But he's slashing the National Science Foundation by like
that's going to be a good one.
10-15%, something like that. So
I'm excited.
So there's a lot of interest. That will be a big topic. Last night, the Mueller report is in. It was handed in to William Barr, the Attorney General. Last night, Jordan Asper said, "Who is the Attorney General?" And I said, "William Barr." And I said,
Bill Barr.
And that's how fucking good I am, that I know who the fucking Attorney General is right now, because he's been the Attorney General for about 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I think since he got confirmed, I think in December, or he was nominated in December.
It
was
really
a relatively quick confirmation process.
Yes, he
did quiet.
He did not seem to be too controversial.
No, especially because he's been homies and we'll talk about this all more, I think, later on. But he's been homies with Robert Mueller for like 30 years.
Long time.
They go way back.
I
think the Democrats were pretty fond of that.
Yeah.
But we're also going to talk about some presidential hopefuls for the Democratic Party.
Some Democratic candidates.
I think this is... We've been not wanting to talk about it for so long because, I mean, it's so far out still.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of 2019, but at the end of the day, the conversation now is loud enough and it's everywhere that it's already campaign season, man.
That's what people are focused on.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, we're starting this show early now. I think that's going to be the new norm. As soon as midterms are over, presidential elections are going to, the campaigns are going to start going.
Well, and I definitely think part of it is just because there are so many people that are putting their names in there, because they're not talking about the Republicans at all. Because it's when Jordan and I also talked about this week, then it's very, very like almost even unheard of, I would say, for the sitting president, if he's running, to not be the candidate again for whatever his party is. Like there may or may not be people who say like, well, I'm going to, run and try and like primary him, but that's not something that happens. Like I don't know that it's ever happened. I don't want to put my name on that, but I don't know that has ever happened.
We'll just say it's historically been the case where the sitting president stays in power.
Yes, or at least stays as the candidate,
because he's always already there, and so it's usually just him defending his seat. And every now and again, you get a primary guy, but they never last that long.
There's only like 4 presidents who have not chosen to run for a second term: Calvin Coolidge, George Washington, James K. Polk, I think Chester A. Arthur.
Okay.
I'll put my fucking name on that. I'll put my fucking name on that's who it is. Those 4 motherfuckers are the only 4 that have not run for a second term.
I believe you when you say that, because you're the type of guy that would know that type of thing.
I am almost certain that that's what it is. So you can look it up right now. Not you guys, America. You can fact check me because I feel confident of that.
Boom.
It's just a thing that happens unless you're dying or you're dead or something. You're going to run for a second term.
And even though some of them don't quite make it, it's very rare still. But like George H.W. Bush was only 1 term. Carter was only 1 term.
Right.
They do come along, but it's never by choice, except for maybe those 4.
Michael Scott for president 2020. That's what Jacob said.
Dude. Dude, I got to send him that thing I sent you yesterday.
Oh, Jacob Brennan, you need, I'm sorry to show your whole name on there. I just was looking at it on the thing. We'll do something about it.
He's on the Facebook.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. You're
in the comments anyway, so that's on you. But you need to be having a Twitter because there's too much gold that we find on there that needs to be shared with you. Specifically, this fucking video that we watched yesterday. I was pissing my fucking pants watching that thing.
Dude.
I was like, not only because I've seen The Office too many times for me to even count, right? Because I've been on The Office like since I was in high school. I've been watching The Office just over and over and over, like in the background shit that I'm doing. So I lost count at watching the seasons 20 times through. Like lost count. I'm like, I'm not even doing it. And that was years ago. So I love the fucking Office. And to see all of those candidates so perfectly depicted by different scenes. Dude, it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
So good. I was glad I found that.
It's one thing you need to see for sure. So we're talking about some Democratic candidates. President Trump vetoed the the joint resolution from the House and the Senate that they decided they were going to block the president's national emergency, like him allocating the funds using the national emergency, and he vetoed that when it got there. So we're going to talk about that.
His first presidential veto in 2 years.
So we're going to talk about that and what is going to have to be done to push that through, the implications and all that. Colin went to Media Podcast Live. He also went to Comic-Con last weekend. So we're going to talk about some of that.
Yeah. I got stories, bro.
Yep. We are also going to talk about fucking Jack Dorsey and Joe Rogan because I really want to have that conversation because I'm really curious about
it. We've been putting that off for weeks too.
Yeah. And I'm trying to talk about that now because I'm really, really curious to see where we sit on it.
Yeah, me too. Because we may be differing on some things.
Yes. So...
Actually, I don't know. You might be surprised. I take a very interesting stance on that type of stuff. Censorship on the social medias and whatnot.
We have not spoken about it at all since it came out. So we have no idea where the other one is going to land, which is not something we usually do.
So exciting.
We generally share some type of information so that we know what's going to happen. But we left this one totally wild. So it should be good.
It'll definitely be good.
Yeah, I got a little bit of sports we can talk about. I want to ask you about what you think about paying college athletes.
Okay.
And then
I'm into that one.
The Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're the first team to hire female full-time assistant coaches. And so they have two of them. One of them is an assistant D-line coach.
Whoa.
And then the other one is an assistant strength training coach. Shout out Bruce Arians, who is the new head coach of the Buccaneers. He has always been on the cutting edge, you could say, or on the front line of pioneering this type of shit. He's always talked about it being a good idea.
Very
so it's not super surprising. Yeah. I was trying to avoid using that term. It's not super surprising you do that, so it's great. I think that's awesome. We saw, I think last year, the year before, there was the first female referee in the NFL.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And then she did a playoff game this last year, so that was rad. So it had to be 2 years ago that she was the first one, because I don't know they would have let her do it her first year.
Yeah, I don't know. They've been in a tight spot socially.
That's true.
A lot of pressure.
They might. I just meant it's a seniority thing, but they might do that.
And I certainly don't think that there's referees out there that just because she's a female, it's like, this isn't her. She's probably one of the best referees of all time.
I've heard she's incredibly fair. Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, once you get to that level, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the game.
Right.
If you're a great referee, you're a great referee.
Right. It's at that point that you decide to either be corrupt and fucking hand people the game or continue to be a good referee, you know? And I would imagine, and, I'm sure that there's at least one person in the country that would be like, that's sexist as fuck. But I would imagine there's not a lot of female interest in being a referee,
It's the old James Damore memo all over
There's not that much interest in being a referee as it is, I only know one person who is a referee, and it's fucking Spencer. So I don't.
Yeah.
That's the only.
Yeah, I've always wondered this. I feel like it's like in Little League and stuff, it's always like jobs for like the dad or something like that. One of the parents will just say, because I've seen a lot of female soccer coaches and stuff like that, but it's usually like one of the parents that takes over like refereeing in like Little League games because they can't find a normal ref.
Well, you
just kind of fall into it.
You have to get certified.
Yeah.
To be a referee. Like there's like a class and a test that you have to take, and it's like a whole deal. So
wow.
And there's gradings at the end of the year for like how good of a referee you are. And so
I mean, I feel like you could pretty well objectively do that.
So
you missed that one. We got you on tape. You called that one wrong. Look at the tape. Run the tape back.
So the guy that I work with, Spencer, that does it, he does like recreation games and then also does like junior high and high school games.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I bet you the school is the best way in.
I think that you get more money for doing the school too.
Yeah. Because then you work your way up from like high schools to colleges, then colleges to the big
Spencer's
boys.
an interesting guy. I'll tell you more about Spencer when we're not live on the internet. But that's a whole other deal. So we did material not yesterday, but last Friday.
Oh,
and
the worst.
We're now to the point because we got another guy who works there now, Dan. Oh, you knew that already.
Yeah.
And so he works there now. And so we're to the point that next time I don't have to do material anymore because there's Casey, Drew, Spencer, and Dan. And so it's only these last 2 times that I've had to do it because those guys that do it, and I love all of you, but they are such immense pieces of shit that they can't fucking do it by themselves. And so Spencer has taken to calling me Don Hitler because I go in and I run shit so hard because I don't want to spend all fucking day doing that.
Yeah.
And so the last time we did material, I fucking like... It's like so stupid, so fucking petty, but I had like a power struggle with Spencer almost because I said something that pissed him off, right? And so me and Drew were sitting on the ground and we were doing the boomsticking, right? And so we're and so we're doing that, and Spencer and Casey are bringing over fucking piles of material, and Spencer just drops like 20 sheets of material on me.
Yo.
And so it comes undone. It's like a whole deal. And I said, you know what, Spencer? Fuck that. And he's terrible at boomsticking. He's horrible at it. And that's why he's carrying materials, because he's fucking terrible at it. And so he's carrying material. And so I said, fuck that. And so I set the material and I said, you're fucking boomsticking now. Sit down and do that shit. And me and Tyler had just made him and Casey boomstick because they're so bad at it.
You got to practice, man.
Yep. And so we made him do it. And then he was talking about, sitting there talking shit about, Don Hitler and blah, blah, blah. And then he was telling us to hurry up. He was like, bring the material. And I said, fuck you, bitch. I said, we move material when I say fucking move. And so me and Casey picked up some material and Casey went to move. And I said, no, fuck that, Casey. I said, you stand right there. He said, what? And I said, stand right there. And so we stood there for a minute and I looked at Spencer and he was like, I don't care at all. And I was like, oh no, I'm sure you don't, man. I'm fucking sure you don't. And we stood there for another minute. All right, let's go. And then we carried the material. It was so fucking stupid. I hate doing shit like that. That's just not me. That's not
that poor case balls is standing there just like, I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be involved in this.
They're just laughing. They think it's fucking funny. Him and Drew are just laughing because everybody chipping all day. But I'll tell you what.
Materials, it always brings out the worst in everybody.
I'll tell you what, I clocked out of work at 11:56 last Friday. Tell me how many times we have finished. We got 4 pallets. Tell me how many times we finished before lunch, like ever.
No.
We got out of there at 11:56, 4 pallets.
Money.
Balled the fuck out. And then at the end, I told Spencer, I told Casey, I said, I hope one of y'all motherfuckers is paying attention because I'm not doing this shit next time. And it's going to take them fucking forever. They're going to be doing it for 3 days. And it's you stupid fucks. Your fault.
Oh, flexing your seniority over there.
I hate that shit. I hate it. I don't like doing that. I keep to myself. I just fucking listen to my podcasts. I let people do their own shit. Like, just put the material away, bitch.
That's so funny. That makes me so happy.
I never called people bitch so many times in one day of my life as I did that day. And now that's just like that because I did it so much that day. I've like taken it up like that's my thing. Like I've started to just call people bitch because that's like I said it so much.
Oh my god,
it's a whole deal.
So as you can tell, this is going to be a really good show.
Full force. I told you here I'm on it. I'm feeling fucking good today.
So make sure you watch out for that shit to drop on your podcast feed on Monday and YouTube probably Tuesday, Wednesday. Depends on how my week goes, as per the usual.
Any day. This is it. This is Salt of the Streets live stream. This is Facebook that you guys were all on here. We have our own personal social medias. I am Pack_Donald on Instagram and Salt of the Street on Twitter. He's at Big Bird Offie on both of those things. Salt of the Streets on Instagram, on YouTube, saltofthestreets.com. Find everything there. Peace the fuck out and have a good weekend, everybody. Bye, Mom. Happy birthday, Uncle Doug.